Italian and French influence on English literature of the period. The dawn of the Renaissance came first to Italy and a little later to France. To England it came much later, roughly about the beginning of the 16th century. The study of this literature fired the soul and imagination of the Italy of that time and created a new kind of intellectual and aesthetic culture quite different from that of the Middle Age. Italian influence on English literature. Chaucer's Italian period is characterized by variety and new technical innovations in his poetry. During his visit to Italy, Chaucer saw a new world of art and literature which had reached its sublimity. He read Dante's Divine Comedy, Petrarch's Sonnet, and Boccaccio Decameron. In Italy, he saw the dawn of Renaissance, which influenced his poetry, which is secular and humanistic in spirit. The unquenchable curiosity of the man of Renaissance was his. More than a century before the really began to affect England, he shared the thirst for expression. The important works which he produced in the imitation of the Italian masters are the House of the Fame, the Parliament of Fowls, Troilus and Cressida, the Legend of Good Women. The House of Fame is a dream allegory which shows Dante's influence. It is remarkable for simple, homely language and the presentation of genuine Chaucerian humor. The Legend of Good Women, the unfinished work, was the tales of virtuous women of antiquity. In it, the skillful handling of the heroic couplet in English was showed for the first time. He uses his material very freely and with great artistic ability. The psychological development has been depicted into Cressida. It is considered as Chaucer's best narrative work. The rhyme roll stanza is used with much beauty. French influence on English literature. Chaucer's early poetry was directly influenced by contemporary French poetry. He composed in his wild youthful days a number of love poems, none of which have survived, but which gave him some fame as a poet. It is supposed that ABC, A Prayer to the Virgin, is the first of his extant poems. He translated some portions of the famous French work Roman de la Rose, an elaborate love allegory. Its translation helped Chaucer to fashion his style. He cultivated an allegorical style. He learned from French poetry the charm of fluent simplicity and constant restraint in the expression of emotion. The French influence was found in both vocabulary and grammar of English. The French influence on the English vocabulary had its greatest expression in the period of Middle English. During this time, more than 10,000 French words were adapted into the English language. Thus, French and Latin played a significant role to construct the English language.